Welcome to the Love and Victory Show with Val, where we will bring you candid conversation. In each conversation, we will talk about real life ups and downs while tackling unresolved matters. We will also unmask issues and truly speak straightforward and candid about our needs and brokenness, while allowing ourselves to exhale so that we can become victorious. This is a place where you can be open to the possibilities of living life in abundance while gaining tools to become bold and complete. So let's get to it. We're going to go ahead and introduce our guests, and then we're going to get this show going on the conversation. So right now, I just want Brother Carter.
No, let's change it up because we're doing something different. I want you to introduce.
Oh, hey, you ain't got to tell me twice.
Transform.
Okay, well, I want to personally, with all the joy and gratitude, introduce my friend, my namesake, Valerie Smith, to the stage. We are a childhood.
You forgot her other name.
Well,
she got 3 names.
Okay, I'm gonna give her 3 names. So she has 3 names. Valerie Gardner from our childhood life. Then it was Valerie Collins. She just had to come back and just connect again.
Mm-hmm.
And now she truly has her name that God has given her. Is Valerie Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to bring to the stage Valerie Smith, who has been my friend since probably first grade.
Yes.
So how are you doing today? And thank you so much for coming into the show. Introduce yourself to the people.
I am absolutely wonderful, and thank you for having me. Again, my name is Valerie Gardner Smith.
There you
Amen.
go. There you go.
I am the mother of 3 children. I have been married for 33 wonderful years to the same man.
Hello.
He is a policeman. He is out there making that money for me. Make that money,
yes.
baby. Make that money. I have a nonprofit organization for colon cancer. I am a colon cancer survivor. What we do is we go out and we help the underserved community who are patients currently going through colon cancer treatment. I met people who were not able to get colon cancer services who were not able to get services and get food and hotels and eat and pay copay at the same time.
Down the road.
Yeah,
We're
that's
gonna
right.
tell everybody about it at the end.
Oh, okay. I am so sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm trying to tell my whole life story
At the beginning.
at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, so you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and let Valerie introduce the next guest.
You see, this is why I love it. See, we
My
know each other.
dissertation.
Yes.
She gonna give us, but you guys are gonna have an opportunity to get to know all that she does in her organization, so that you can connect with her.
That's a wonderful thing you're doing
Yes,
over
it
there
is.
with the Crusaders for colon cancer over there. You are the founder, correct? Founder and president? Yes.
Didn't I just cut it short? So
Yeah.
Valerie,
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
All
Thank
right.
you. Don't be doing that. Now I would
Good job you're doing
bring
over
to
there.
the stage. Bring into the stage. I want to bring Molly Gilmore.
Mhm.
Molly has been on the show. You know, Molly is one of our faithful guests,
Crew members.
and
Yes.
I'm just so excited to have. She is a breath of fresh air. She just comes in with the light. She doesn't allow life to carry her. She just kind of.
She don't let the gloominess of life
It's all the bright colors.
dictate how she's gonna feel.
So, Molly, if you could introduce yourself to the guest.
Yes.
To the listeners.
I am Molly Gilmore.
Mhm.
This is my fifth
time on the show.
Yes.
Yes.
I was here the show that you guys learned about the 100,000
Yes.
subscribers.
Yes.
That was the last one I was,
Yes.
which we have the beautiful
So you see how one thing about Molly that I love, you see how she just immediately took it off of herself and lifted someone else up. That's part of the brightness that you bring in.
Mhm.
You always are considering the next person more so than yourself. So today, right now, in this
Talk about
hour,
We're
myself.
going to consider you.
Okay.
There you go.
So I am a lawyer, although I do not practice.
Yes.
Mhm.
I still maintain my license. It was in Louisiana. I was a criminal defense attorney,
Mhm.
but I worked specifically with juvenile delinquents, so kids between the ages of 10 to 18. I was
Ooh-wee.
on the defense side, so I was trying to get them out of the jail.
Yeah.
I know that had to be tough.
Yeah, it was very tough, very emotional.
Yeah.
And we were kind of talking, see, that's what I do. But we were kind of talking beforehand and just talking about how, for me at least, like all of my clients, they were all so amazing.
Mhm.
And like, no matter what they had done,
Yeah.
I always was
still
able
your
to find a
babies, huh?
good connection
Yeah.
with
Right.
them. So I love to see the good in everybody.
Yes.
I try not to be a very judgmental person. You know, sometimes it does creep in.
Yeah.
But I always think that we're better than the worst thing that we've ever done.
I
And
love that.
people have the capacity.
But your nature is not judgmental, so
Yeah.
that's what's
Oh, yeah,
important. There's some people nature is just judgmental.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so
And those
then
are the district
you
attorneys.
like to see the better part of humans versus the negative side of them. So that's a good thing.
That's
Yeah.
a good thing. And with that being said, we have to take it. Are you guys ready? I'm going to ask the people behind the stage because we got to get this show going.
Well, we're just gonna get it going.
We are ready for the acronym. We're ready to go. Who is going to read that acronym off? Who's taking it this morning? Will it be you, Diamond? There you go. Let's go.
Okay, today's acronym of the day is balance.
Oh, first of all, what's the title of the show?
The title of the show is Caught in the Middle.
Caught in the middle. So now you got to have a balance when you're caught in the middle. Okay, go on, break that acronym down.
All right, all righty. So B is for building, establishing connections between different sides. A is for accepting, embracing all perspectives without bias. L is for listening, paying close attention to what's being said. A is for assessing, evaluating the situation with clarity. N is for navigating, guiding through emotional or complex scenarios. C is for communicating, able to recover quickly from different difficulties or challenges. E is for empowering, encouraging positive and collaborative outcomes.
Oh, wow. I think that really does lead into the conversation of being caught in the middle because you got to be able to handle that balance and have a balance. And so with that being said, I'm just going to throw this very first question and we're going to have this conversation. I want you guys out there that have bared with us. And I see you guys came right on back in here. Thank you so much. God bless you all. We love you so much. Have you ever felt torn between two important people in your life? And if so, how did you handle that? When you felt like you were caught in the middle, there was a situation going on and both of the people are important to you. Have you ever felt torn? And
I can speak for the husbands out there.
Okay, Brother Carter, don't jump in.
Not yet? Okay.
Have you ever felt torn? And if you felt torn, how did you handle that situation? And I want to look to the ladies first. And so I know as a mother, Valerie, have you ever felt torn? And you can take it from any perspective.
Well, not as a mother, but as a wife with my husband now. My mother-in-law, she's deceased now, but she and I, something about those mothers and daughter-in-laws, for some reason, majority of the time, not all of the time, but just
an imbalance somewhere there.
Yeah, almost all of the time. They just do not connect. And we just did not connect. But she didn't connect with anybody. She didn't even connect with herself, really.
Valerie, did you just
God bless you, Miss Valerie. Mr. Smith.
No, leave Valerie. This is her story to tell.
I know.
She asked for no help cleaning up. Let her finish her
I did. I said what I said.
Yeah, there you go.
And we just didn't connect. And so for me, my escape is I just I back off and I shut down. And my husband, he likes to push it, and he tries to make us get along. He tried to make us get along. And, my mother-in-law she was very, very aggressive, and she's boisterous. She was very boisterous, and her mouth was just worse than a sailor's mouth. And, and my sister, my little sister, she's very, very quiet, but when she sees somebody
attacking you,
she's like a piranha, and it's like, why you won't say nothing? And so I'm back offish. But when I get attacked to a certain degree, then I start, So she started attacking me, and I want to just. So we had a situation one time when I almost went there, and I had to just back up, but.
So your initial reaction is to just back up from the situation versus attacking it.
Yeah, but when she went so far, and she started really calling me derogatory names, and my husband knows how I am, and I didn't say anything back to her. Then,
well, what did Mr. Smith say in all of this?
That's what I'm getting ready to say. Yeah. Then, because she said some stuff on the answer machine when you can hear it.
Yeah. When he got the really of what. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he
knew he was at it.
Yeah. He started saying stuff that really surprised me. He went full force. You. Yeah.
You was like, by time, huh?
Ooh. I was
like, so being caught in the middle. So your husband was caught in the middle. You were caught in the middle, but then at the right time, he stood up for you.
Yeah, but by this time, I'm like, dude.
Yeah, you beat up and beat down and.
Jerk, where you been all my life? I'm about ready to pack my bags right about now.
Yes.
Diamonds and pearls ain't gonna work right about now.
None of that's gonna help.
Yeah, I was mad.
Okay, caught in the middle. All right, then. Well, you came up.
Caught up.
All right, what about you?
In a two-way love affair.
So I'm gonna right. It's musical hour.
Okay.
So I will preface this by saying I may not have handled my situation so delicately. So this isn't going to be a story about like do as I do. No. So back in the day, I had two friends. It was a female friend and a male friend, and we were all like pretty close. We all hang out together, go out, do all the things. But my female friend had some feelings for my male friend, and she was my best friend.
Yes.
And so she was
that heifer.
So she's my best friend. Yeah. She has feelings for this person. Of course,
Were you dating the guy?
No.
Okay.
It was strictly friends.
Okay.
Yeah, between all of us.
Okay.
She wanted it to be more.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So at some point, she's trying to make her grand move on him, and he's basically, no, I'm not interested in you like that, whatever. And so they're both like talking to me at this point, kind of coming at it like she's upset because she thinks he's leading her on.
Yes.
He's upset because he was like, I never gave any indication that this would be more. So again, I did not say that this is something that I encourage people to do. So although I was very close friends with them, I'm closer with them now. But because she was my best friend, I took her side, even though in my mind, I'm like, I know she's wrong, but it doesn't matter because if someone, even a good friend, if someone wrongs your friend, I'm the kind of person, I'm so loyal. I'm like, it doesn't even matter. So I see red. I call him, I cuss him out. Yes, I was cursing him. I was like, you are the worst person. You're making her cry.
Yeah, you got caught up in your feelings.
Yes, I got caught up. Yeah. Which it turns out, like, she was just having a moment. Like, she didn't even really care that much. Yeah. Like, she was just, she had her feelings hurt a little bit, but moved on from that. And so, like, they made up very quickly. And he was like, I'm not good with Molly. He's like, I don't don't want it.
I'm not fooling with her anymore.
So yeah, I kind of came in hot.
And that was
when I did not need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
So this is a cautionary tale.
I like that though, but at least you're honest about it.
I am.
And you were 10 toes down for your best friend.
Yes, right.
We need to have those in our life.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brother.
How about you? Let's hear your version of it, caught up in the two-way love affair.
Ooh. Well, I've been caught up with a friend. And Lord rest her soul, Darlene. That was my best friend.
Which Darlene?
Darlene Hall.
Okay.
And I've always had friends that are different. My friends are different. And I have to come up with, God, why you give me this type of friend?
You can't get two friends to be on the same page.
Because I guess that's just different needs in my body. I don't know, brain or whatever. And they had a problem with the other friend, but you can't ever come talking to me about my friend. And so Darlene being my best friend, someone came to me wanting to talk about her. That was a friend. And oh my God, I lost it. Because Darlene was very, I want to say very easygoing. And people thought I was not that easygoing person, but I really was. I was scary. But anyway, they came to me talking about her and wanting to jump, I can't stand her. And I basically had to let them know, not today, not tomorrow, not the next day, because she don't bother anybody. So I was like you, but I didn't fight, but I had to let them know all my friends are my friends. And what? I just ran that mouth.
See, I have to fight with my mouth because
my friends, I can't do that either. All my friends are my friends, and if we're gonna stay friends,
so how old were you when you got the name Chief?
I think that was named from my.
I know where your name from. How old were you when you got the name?
I don't know. They've always said it since I was
Chief Crazy Horse.
Yes, I think I was probably in the elementary school. Middle school.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're so petty.
I love that.
It's so petty. It's so petty. That's what they call me, Chief Crazy Horse. I mean, I was a baby. I was a little girl.
So you got that name for a reason, right?
I don't know. What is the reason?
I don't know. What was the reason?
Why would you bring
Somebody gave you that name for a reason, and so you wasn't such a nice.
I was a person that when I got something in my head, I don't care who you were. If I felt it was right, I was standing on it.
Yeah.
That's where that came from. It was nothing you can say to change me.
Right.
They just wanted me to run.
You didn't back down on nothing.
Well, since you're bringing it up, y'all, and I'm sorry. I hope I'm not boring y'all. So here's what happened. I wanted to run. I ran track as a student in school, and I wanted to be on this relay team. Well, the coach didn't want me to be on that particular team, and they got their butt whooped. So the next track thing, they wanted me to come train and be on it. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm doing my individual races. Good luck. And so that's when the coach started calling me Chief Crazy Horse. And then I ended up coming on back and running on the race. So that's where that came from.
All right.
Whatever. What's yours? How would you handle the situation? Have you ever been caught in the middle?
I'd be a liar if I said no.
Okay, so how do you handle it, or have you handled
I didn't handle it very well. I come back to a particular, like Miss Valerie was talking about with a mother-in-law, but it was my mother and my wife, and that's a love affair you're caught up in the middle of. My first wife, which is my mother, and then my real wife, which is Valerie.
Your first love. That was
first love. Yes, that's what I meant. Thank you, babe. Thank you. And so, yeah, you have to understand, Mama is first love of the boy, and so I couldn't see my mother doing nothing wrong.
Yep.
Not this dear sweet woman, and she's over here fussing with me about my dear sweet mother. The nerve of you!
And so taking them punches, left and right.
Yeah, and so it took several years for me, like your husband, Mr. Smith, to stand up against mother. Because that's an uphill battle. And so many men out there that are in this two-way love affair, I'd like to speak to you for a second. Don't wait so long. Don't go through so much misery with your relationship with your wife, your children, all in the house. And there's no peace there because you trying to make sure mama have peace. And so sometimes mama have to get checked.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you want to come home and check wife all the time. Check. But sometimes we need to address mama and say, mama, this is my wife now. No longer will this be tolerated.
Well, if I appreciate that, because here's the thing, you can't quote the word of God on one hand and then sit it over to the side because of your first love, second love, third love. Nothing outside of God should come before. And whoever that is, you're supposed to put that in order. So I appreciate it. We did get it right.
Yeah.
We got it right. So,
and just because you know the word of God don't mean all those things you're going to do right. You're still going to make mistakes along the way, you know? And so in most of us that read the Bible, we apply only what we need to apply.
As it
you know,
fits for that moment,
it's fitting, you know,
for you.
You know, all the dirt we done, we don't want to talk about none of that.
Well, it goes back to what you're saying about comfort, right? It's comfortable to only accept the parts that align with
this
what
is
you're
where I am
doing.
at now. So we ain't talking about what was.
You have been transformed.
So, let me just say, you said, this is my wife now. Not this is your wife now.
Well, I
she was your
misspoke.
only wife.
No, I misspoke earlier. I said I meant first love, which is mother, not first wife. And that was a quote.
There you go. Okay, then I'm going to. I have someone that's over here on the wheels of steel, and I'm looking at her, and I'm going to ask her to come on up to the mic. Diamond, if you can come up to the mic. Have you ever been in a situation where you were torn between two important people in your life, and you had to handle it? You had to do something, and how did it make you feel? And what did you do?
Me personally, I had to learn to not get in between people's relationship problems. I've had a friend where they would tell me, you know, about the things that they're going through in their relationship. And I would, of course, give sound advice. And sometimes people don't necessarily want advice. They just want to be heard in that moment.
Look at that mature statement.
Well, but that's not what they don't give off that type of energy, though. Initially, you think that they want advice, and then later on down the line, they think you're trying to break them up. That's why I just mind my business.
Good one. All right. Aaron, you have anything to add to that?
Oh, man, I had my own experience with this last year. Essentially, two of my best friends from high school. Like, the girl was my best girlfriend. The guy was my best guy friend. I'm supporting them. I'm championing them. I'm like they're going to make it, right? And long story short, I think she might have been communicating some boundaries and stuff to him that he wasn't necessarily implementing. And her resolve, I guess, was, hey, Aaron, can you not do this? Can you not do this? I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. But she also couldn't be articulate in what she was wanting. So by the time she actually could articulate it, and I'm like, okay, I'll follow that, I realized I can't actually sit here and say he's my best friend if I'm interacting like this out of respect and wanting to make sure I'm not, doing nothing, right? So I had to get to a point within me, because it broke my heart, and I refused to lie to him. I refused to say, oh yeah, like we're best friends, but like I can't be myself. So I had to step back, and it is one of the hardest things that I had to do. And even this year, I've only recently gotten some closure on that. And while that's still really hard, and I still have my moments, but at the end of the day, I know God has placed the right people in my life. And so you can get caught in the middle, but the goal is you're not supposed to stay in the middle.
There you go. I love that.
That's good.
That's real good. You're not supposed to stay there. That's really, really good. What is the hardest decision you've ever had to make when you felt like you were in the middle of that situation? I know we talked about how we came out of it. For one, your husband stood up for you. You had to stand up and for me, Molly, you
I went nuclear.
You went nuclear. Okay.
Regretted it immediately.
But was there anything else that was hard about that you felt during that whole process? Is it getting up to the point of having to say, I can't take this anymore? For me, I'll give you an example. For me, when I finally had to make a decision, I knew that it could possibly cost me my relationship with two people that were very important to me. But I knew I had to do it, because if I didn't do it, I would feel just as bad by just letting it go on. So I knew that I could possibly lose a friend, or maybe both of them. So that was probably the hardest thing, but I knew I had to do it.
Yeah.
The hardest thing is choosing, huh?
Choosing, making that decision and stepping up to the plate. Yeah.
For me, just seeing my husband having to just really check his mother, because I know he loved his mother, and just having to see them go through that, that was still hard.
That was hard.
Even though it was necessary.
Yes.
It was still hard.
I can relate to that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think my takeaway is probably similar to Diamond's, in that, like, I had to learn from that experience. I didn't handle it well in the moment, but learn, like, it's not my place to try and interfere with the situation. And that I don't need to, like, ride in to save someone when they have not asked for it.
Yes.
That part,
and that can make the situation worse. So, so in, like, later times when I was confronted with similar situations, it was the decision to be like, okay, the decision that was difficult for me was really checking myself and, like, deciding, like, how am I true to myself as somebody who, as somebody who thinks of themselves as loyal, as the person who's going to fight for somebody. How do I reconcile that with, maybe you don't need to fight in this situation?
Exactly.
So the decision that sometimes you don't have to fight for people, and that they can manage their own battles how they want to. And that's their choice.
That's their choice. Yes.
As a peacemaker, which is what I call myself to be, you want to try to find common grounds when you see differences and conflict and differences of opinions. And then you find yourself trying to find comfort and peace with two magnets that are just kind of fighting against each other. And then you find yourself in this situation, and you end up making it worse
Yes.
than it was if you just get stayed out of it and let them work it out.
Well, I think sometime, and I agree with you with that, I think sometime too, when you have people, kind of like what Diamond say, sometimes you have to just kind of stay back. But there is a time that you have to step up, because staying back and seeing things, just kind of play out, and you never step up and you see what's going on, you're making it bad yourself. Not saying that you have to fix. See you're wrong at, and this is where I see you wrong at, and you guys got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes when you go into situations like that, you find yourself having to lean toward one person's right versus the other person's right, which causes another conflict all within itself.
I hear what you're saying, but why do you have to do that?
That's what I'm saying. That's that caught in the middle. Caught in the middle is a peacemaker. You want to try to fix it one side, and then you want to fix the other side, but
you got to
then you find yourself in the middle of it. Like for example, just you and my daughter, Angel, and y'all have conflict with each other, right? And now I'm sitting in the middle of it. It's better sometimes to just let y'all work it out, right? Than to just try to get in the middle of it.
What you're saying is, like, because we both have strong personalities. So you're saying, but I'm saying to you that I think that, because that's my baby and we don't have no problems. But anyway, we can have a disagreement, just like any parent. I mean, any parent and their daughters. But I think sometimes it's good for someone that's on the outside looking in. They can be objective and they can see, and it's better to, instead of just being quiet in a situation, is giving true factual what's going on versus just kind of being silent, because sometimes silent, the person that's wrong sees that as you're supporting that
That's right.
wrong, which causes more problems.
That's right.
You know, so it's not always good to stay silent because you can bring more harm than good.
Yeah.
And so, Aaron, I see you shaking your head. You want to jump in there?
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me at this point in my life, I'm tired of being in the middle, you know? And I don't know, just everything you're saying, I'm sitting here shaking my head in agreement because I really need to hear that. I really did need to hear that.
Wow. Thank you. Okay. Valerie, you had anything to add to that?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Well, I agree with what you're saying. Not that you're absolutely right, but I do agree with what you're saying because I'm kind of in that same situation as you. And I tell my husband that all of the time because I have a bonus daughter as well. And when he sits back and he doesn't say anything, she believes that what he's saying, what she's saying is
right,
true and correct. And sometimes I need his support, you know, because he'll come back and he'll say, well, yeah, what you're saying is right.
You don't need to hear it behind the scenes.
Exactly.
In the moment, it's exactly. Don't come talking later.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, can you say that? Because she needs to hear that
from you.
Right. And not just with that, not just between the two of us,
but just in life in general.
Yeah. And I'll have other conversations with other people and he'll say, yeah, what you said, that was true. Well, say it where other people can hear it in that situation. And then, you know.
Now, due to all fairness to men that's caught up in the middle of two women having differences of opinion, that put a lot of pressure on us as men because we're not, most of us are not the debatable type of individuals. We like to say what we say and it's done. It's a done deal. But sometimes when it get catty and you as a man in the middle, it get too difficult. It become too much pressure sometimes. And I'll be like, ooh, let me just get, I think it's too much for me right now.
I think I hear what you're saying, but I don't think it's just a man thing. I think it's a personality thing that doesn't a person that doesn't like to deal with conflict.
Right.
Because it's not that person is fearful. It's not that person is afraid. I think that person know their self and they know that
I think it's a certain level of fear too in the middle of it because you know if I say this finna raise all kind of flags.
But here's the thing, I think that it's and again, y'all hit us in the comments. I believe that at some point your voice matters and what you have to say in a situation is so important and it can change someone's life. And so being silent, you have to look at it from this standpoint. Am I helping or am I hurting? And so if I'm staying silent and I'm not saying something that can change this person or this situation, I'm hurting them. If saying something in this situation is only going to add fuel, then don't say anything. Shut your mouth. So, but if there is good intent behind it, you got to speak up because you're only hurting the persons or the people that need to hear from you. So, Diamond, you want to jump in on that?
Oh, I just want to say I agree with both of you guys. It is a certain level of fear that comes with that, like fear of maybe escalating the situation, whether, speaking your opinion regarding the situation, but it's just as bad not saying anything, knowing that, if a person is knowingly doing something wrong and then you don't speak up for, what they're doing, that's basically affirming that behavior.
Yes. Right. Yes. Very good.
I will say, like, in my opinion, not all conflicts, though, have a right or wrong answer. Like sometimes, yes, it is very clear cut that someone is in the wrong and that they have done something and they need to be called out on it. They need to be held to task or they need to be told like, hey, what you're doing is actually like, that's not how we're going to do things. But I don't necessarily think every interpersonal conflict has somebody who is right and somebody who is wrong. A lot of times there are shades of gray within that.
Yes.
And because people's realities and their truths, it's very subjective to their experience and their right? What is hurtful to someone may not have been like the intention of the person who's hurting them. And they may not have been wrong in what they did. They just didn't understand what how it's going to affect someone else. Because that person may have been triggered by their own experiences. Right. So yes, I do think like sometimes you're in your voice when you see something that is so clear cut and you're like, no, this is wrong and I have to speak up. Absolutely. But when there isn't that clear cut answer, I think in those situations, understanding is like bringing people to the table to understand each other is more important than like trying to derive who is right and who's wrong. And I think that's where some people get like, even especially in like romantic relationships. Yes. I know you want to win. I'm like, I want to win. Yes. Yes.
But you have to understand, many of us have not gone to school to learn these type of tools. They're talking about counseling and you know. Many of us haven't gone to school for these things, and now we're just trying to interject our own emotions and feelings in the middle of an argument or whatever.
But we do have to. Well, you can get the Arabella counseling at any time, and I'm a firm believer of therapy. So it's no excuse anymore that you can't. The help is there.
I don't mean, but the number one thing is like just listening, right?
Yes,
like,
it is. It really is.
Like we have so many things that we want to say, especially when we're emotionally heated, that we're like, no, I have to make my point. I have to do this, so that like the part of us that actually is capable of listening,
not happening,
and considering. We're like, I don't really care what they say. It don't matter.
Real good, Valerie. I see you want to come on in here. Go on, take that.
Just real quick. Okay, so I was a correction officer, and the environment was you had to curse, and that's just the way you had to communicate. You had to communicate with the inmates. That's just the way it was.
That was the only way y'all can communicate?
Yeah. So that was the only way. It was a maximum security, all male facility, right? So the inmates and the officers as well, that's just the way you communicate.
Oh, God, I would have made it 5 minutes.
It was a difficult job. Okay, so.
Well, you would.
Darren,
I was going to say.
Okay, so one day
that was the baddest one back in the day.
It was horrible. It was horrible. Okay, so one day this supervisor, he palmed my butt, and I turned around and I slapped him. And I wasn't.
Who did that?
The
supervisor, the lieutenant. And I slapped his face, and I was not going to report him, and that's where I met my husband. I was not going to report him because I tried to slap all the taste out of his mouth. Well, he went and he reported it. He was a good old boy, and he told the warden.
He reported you.
No, he went up there. Yeah, Miss Collins gonna go up there, and Miss Collins gonna come up here, and she gonna say that I palmed her butt. So he made a joke out of it. He thought it was funny. Well, once he told the warden was like, well, you know what? Now I gotta do something. Okay, so all the officers got mad at me because now I'm getting the lieutenant.
Right.
So they all turned on me.
Wow.
Well,
he reported it himself.
Yeah, he did. But it was this one.
His own guilt turned him in.
Yeah. But it was this one officer. All the officers, I mean, you should have seen them. You turned on the lieutenant and we don't have nothing to do with you. And it was just a trip. But I was caught in the middle. This one officer that spoke up, now he caught in the middle, but he said that if it was his wife, he would want somebody to say something. So he was the only one, but now he's caught in the middle because he said something. But like they say, you see something, say something. But it was just so crazy that because he said something, now
he's in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really crazy, but. Yeah, so when you were talking and everybody was talking, it just reminded me of being caught in the middle.
But that don't mean shut your mouth when you see something like that.
And if you had to do it all over again, I'm sure he would have done, because I can see. I can see my husband, if someone violated another woman in his presence, or he's Johnny on the spot, not even thinking. One second.
Yeah, we had neighbors like that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He has to go over there. Wait a minute. Come on, man.
Come on. We ain't
here.
doing that. Yeah, we ain't doing that. So, all righty then. So, with that being said, go ahead, Diamond. You wanted to say something?
You want to do?
Yeah, we're going to do some comments real quick, and we're going to come back and keep having this conversation. It's real good. What are we? Oh, they're in here.
Okay. Lori Solomon said, you don't want to take sides. And she also had added, I will listen to a degree, but when I feel like you're mentally hurting someone and it's in front of me, it's like the spirit in me says, humbly speak up.
There you go. Oh, that's good.
That's your cousin, huh?
That's my cousin at the top, dropping a dime there. Yes. I love you, Laurie. Okay.
Solomon Mitchell said, thank you, Brother Carter, for putting that out there.
All righty. I think that was the part when we were talking about the men
the fear.
and the
mothers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's happening all over the world. Hundreds of millions of billions of people in the midst of all of this right now.
You saw something and you said something.
There you go. Okay.
Lori also said the best thing when torn between two people is to consider the righteousness of God and let his righteousness prevail to come closer to a peaceful resolution.
Oh, okay. Come on with it.
Okay. Right. A lot of people don't know how to do that, but that was good.
Well, I can't stand you. Donald James.
Yeah, Donald James said, you guys are the best duo for this show.
Oh, thank you. Donald, hey, from G-Town.
We keep it 100, man.
100. Okay, you over on YouTube? I'm seeing a lot over here.
It's Facebook.
It's Facebook and YouTube. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I
see you, Betty.
Oh, yeah. Betty Parker said, good morning, everyone. Have an awesome, blessed weekend. Take care of God. Bless. Please be safe. Much love.
All righty then. Okay, well, we're going to we appreciate you guys so much. We're going to come back in, and I'm going to throw this last question out. And I really want y'all to think about it. Don't just give me a quick answer. Go ahead.
Sorry, I did have a question for y'all before y'all get to like the final question.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was kind of wondering, why do you think people put themselves in the middle? Like, because we're talking about like, getting caught in the middle,
that's
right?
Really good.
Like, we're talking about getting caught in the middle. It's just like things are just happening. But like, what do you do with the people, or if you are one of those people, like when you put yourself in the middle and then you're saying like, oh, I got caught. I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh. But then it's like, what do you do with that?
That's a good question. Let me take it.
Go ahead.
I used to feel the need to want to save other people because of my own issues. My own issues of feeling like, what about me? And are maybe having my own traumas coming up. And so when I seen what I felt was wrong, I felt the need to go and get in the middle to protect them at the detriment of myself and even them. And I learned in my later years, I'm not God. And so, again, I think people put themselves in this situation sometimes. It's not always bad, but it has a lot to do with who they are and their DNA and their experiences that are going on inside of them. So that's for me. That's how I did it. But I had to work through that because that's not good. And again, I'm not God. So I had to learn to find that balance of when there is times to speak up and help, you do it, but you don't go running trying to be God. So you look like you that hero.
Yeah.
So that was me.
I guess it's only when things trigger you to jump in the middle. You know, if you had experiences with something in your younger days and that very nature of things show up, and you just happen to be triggered by it sometimes, and you just want to rescue or save or do something you didn't do when you was a younger person or couldn't do. So
I think there are those class of people who insert themselves in the middle because of that compulsion, right? Because I understand that. Yeah. But I think there are also like a different class of people who just really love the drama. And they are in the mix and they ain't helping.
Yeah. They're making it worse.
Running back and forth and like saying stuff over here and saying stuff over here. Yeah. So that's the person, like, because if somebody is like inserting themselves because they genuinely want to help and think that they're helping, but you're like, hey, like this, like, I know that you care about me, about this other person, but we really need to work through it ourselves. I feel like if that were said to them, they would respect that. Yes. Unless it were like a dire situation where it was like a, or like in-laws something. But again, like I think there's also a class of person who just really wants shit.
Keep the crap going.
Somebody that hear the gunshots, they start running too.
What did you wear?
What did you
Right going on. Yes,
They
yes.
start telling the neighbors, like, "Oh, did you see something?"
They're just mess packers, and they like drama. I like that. That's real good.
So I think with those people, you got to keep at arm's length.
Yes. You have anything to add to that, Valerie? No,
y'all said it.
You said it, huh? Anybody else? Diamond, you have anything to add? Okay.
My only follow-up question to that, though, would also kind of along the same vein, but it's like, have y'all ever put people in the middle of y'all's stuff?
Oh, I have for sure.
I'm sure that I have.
Brother Carter, poor Brother Carter. Yes, I have, because part of that is, again, when you are that person that have went through so much or have went through things, remember, you think that you're this savior person, but you have a victim mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a victim mentality that I wanted him to be the savior for, which is he's not God. And that was an unfair situation to put him in on any time. Baby, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's why we had a Love and Victory show with Val, so we can, we talk these things through, and we get to a place of recognition, and then we say like, okay, I was doing that to you.
I did do that to
sorry,
you. I did do that. But the good thing is, one, you recognize it. Two, you have someone that really cares enough to understand that I need to kind of stay in my place, but at the same time, they still love you enough to love you through it. So for me, that was me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strong shoulders, baby.
Yeah.
Some strong shoulders.
There you go. Did I answer that, or anybody else want to take
Absolutely. I don't know. I always enjoy hearing y'all's perspectives. I don't know. Y'all just have something so unique, and I love what y'all bring every week.
Oh,
God bless you.
Thank
baby.
you. God bless you. Okay, now this is that last question. And hey, guys, please put your comments and questions in the chat. Okay. In today's world, it feels easy to get stuck between two opposite views, whether at work, home, or on social media. How do you stay true to yourself without feeling the pressure of picking sides? I'm going to go one more time. In today's world, it feels easy to get stuck between two opposite views, whether at work, home, or on social media. How do you stay true to yourself without feeling the pressure of picking sides? That's a really good question.
That's a good question.
That's a really good question. So I want y'all to think about it. Y'all thought about it, and the clock is ticking. And I want you guys to give me your answer. So, Aaron, I'm starting with you.
Yeah.
But she ready.
She ready. Her finger was on the trigger.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been sitting on this conversation. I've been taking it all in, but at the end of the day, I think when you feel like you're having to give up something, like I think lately in this season of life, I've been looking for gauges, and that's come up a couple of times. I've been looking for gauges, like, how do I monitor this? Because these are things I'm learning, right? And at the end of the day, I kind of realize when you're trying to be there for your friends, or there's a situation going on, you're trying to figure out what to do. When you get to a point where you feel like you're giving up something, you're releasing something, you're having to sacrifice something within yourself to your own character. I don't know. I think there's just something about that. It's like there might be little moments. It's like, okay, concede, compromise. But when it keeps going, I think once you become aware of that, then you have to make a decision. Because if you become aware of that and then you do nothing, well, then you're choosing to stay in the middle.
Oh, very good. Okay. All right, Diamond. You want me to read that question to you again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Here we go. In today's world, it feels easy to get stuck between two opposing views, whether at work, home, or on social media. How do you stay true to yourself without feeling the pressure to pick sides?
I'm not gonna lie, I fall victim to this quite often, but the way to stay, I guess, to stay true to myself is to first know yourself. And then also you have to just take take time away from everything to really process it. It's easy to get, caught up with everybody's opinion and, get so drawn in everyone else's world, but it's really taking that time out for yourself and to figure out what feels true to you.
Oh, you know what? That's really good too, because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it. You're like stepping away, right? I don't think we always give ourselves the space to step away. Like we feel like we always have to have an answer for something right now, right? Because like we feel the pressure. I mean, I'm guilty of that. Like I really should advocate for myself and be like, you know what? I need to step back. I cannot do. I mean, just in life, I need to be able to do that. So I think honestly, I kind of wonder if we just give ourselves be like, you know what, I'm going to withhold my opinion for like a good 20, 30 minutes. Give me 2 days, give me a week, and just even then sometimes
I literally have to separate myself.
Yeah. Yes, that's really good. Okay, Valerie.
I think you can always find a common ground for, like Molly kind of said earlier, you can find some good in everything.
Right.
So you can always be true to yourself in everything. So just find that common ground and still be true in everything that you decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that answer. I like that approach. Okay. All right, Molly.
So kind of
so they over here. They over here today.
But like I think of what Val is talking about in terms of like in my mind consistency with your own ethics. So stepping back, right, and evaluating. Okay, what are my values? What do I stand for? And then looking at the situation and your potential actions. What is consistent with those values, especially if you're a person of faith,
right?
But with this caveat of making sure that you're not jumping through a trillion different mental hoops to justify taking one side or another. Because in that part, like if you're doing that, it's probably not consistent with who you are or what you value about yourself or about other people in the world. If you're trying so hard to justify something, you're doing all this mental gymnastics for nothing.
I
think it's Hanlon's razor, which is like the simplest answer, is the most correct.
Yes,
like you shouldn't have to jump through all of those hoops.
Yes, if it's true to who you are.
If you're like, well, but if you look at it this way, and if you twist it upside down and maybe squint a little bit, I think it's consistent. You're like, no, stop.
You shouldn't have to do all of it. Very good. All right, Brother Carter.
And so I'm gonna piggyback off of Ms. Molly, but I'm gonna break it down to the simplest form. In order to stay out of the midst of these type of things, situations, you have to first be able to stand for something. You can't be wishy-washy in all your ways of thinking. And so that's the first part of staying out of being in the middle of something, because it's easy for you to choose if you know where you stand, like Miss Molly was saying over here. And so just stand for something and not be wavering on everything that people saying here and this side, here and that side. No, this is where I stand. This is where I believe. And this is where I'm going to stay. Okay.
Yeah. And for me, I think, again, I had to stop trying to make sure everybody else was okay. If the core of whatever decision you make in here, and when you're making your decision, stand on it, because truly we're good people. And so there is never any malice intent, because you wouldn't be wrestling with it when it's someone that you care about anyway. But if you know in your soul that you're a good person and you want the best for the outcome for that person, stand on it and don't waver. You don't have to try to make them understand. You don't have to do a lot of jargon back and forth. Just stand on it.
Yeah, and that's what you believe, and that's
what you believe.
That's it.
You stand there. So I think I want to say to our amazing listeners and followers, you guys have stood with us, even through, and it shows here, even through this difficult technical issues that we heard earlier this morning.
Difficult morning.
Yeah, you guys still stood with us because you believe in us, and we believe in you guys. And when you believe in something, the outcome is going to work itself out. And so I thank you guys so much. Today we have something special going on. Today we're going to leave here we've been having the toy drive going on. So today, LNV, you see us, actually Brother Carter has on his LNV Enterprise Resources Inc. Merch, because we're going to leave here and we're heading over to Texas Children. We will be delivering a lot of toys. Thank you guys for all of your donations. Keep sending them in, keep sending them in. And do we have anything? Are we able to get that up? We can't. We probably don't. We don't want to play. We don't want to knock you guys out again. So we have. They've already came by Thursday and picked up boxes and a lot of toys. And then we are going to pack it down again today, and we'll be setting up over there at Texas Children. Bless them. But I want to give a special shout out to Tumble 22. We had. Yes, we did a dine and donate.
Dine and
donate. They did it at all 3 locations here in the Houston area, and oh my God, the money that we were 22% of. And it was from, what time was it from, Aaron?
So for everyone who ate out at Tumble 22 at all 3 or at any of the Houston locations from 4:30 to 9, y'all's purchases of food, like no extra money y'all spent. Y'all just going out and supporting us. A portion of that from all 3 locations went to LNV Enterprise.
Well, let me just say
22%.
No, and so we got
22.
We got 22% from Tumble 22. And when I tell you, I'm just want to give a real special shout out to the Vintage location. They showed up. You guys showed up and showed out. Truly, the love and the appreciation and the support that God is sending our way for what we're trying to do is just flooring me at this time. So continue to give to LV. Oh, Lord, LVERINC. You can take that to the website and it's a donate button there. Just know that everything that you guys give us, everything that we do, it goes right back in to help someone else. Also, we're going to be doing a turkey. We're not done giving. This season, we are giving. So we're doing a turkey donation and we will be doing it. You'll hear more about that next week. So we're going to make sure that everybody is taken care of. With that being said, we're going to wrap up the final comments and we're going to wrap this show up because we got to get this ball rolling. All righty, Diamond. We have anything else up there that we need to share from comments and stuff? There you go.
Okay. Elizabeth said that we have 2 Valeries today and she loves it.
Oh, thank you, Liz. Hey.
Caesar said, appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Caesar. We appreciate you.
Maxine Guidry said, first time watching, y'all, love it.
Oh, hey, that's another G-Town girl. Hey, we love you too.
And she also says, I experienced that with politics and parents. I'm an educator. Discernment is key. Voicing your beliefs in a tone that makes the other wonder says a lot. Or I think she's saying person says a lot. You are staying true to you, but not being ugly and saying it.
There you go. 100%. Can you read that one more time?
Yeah.
She say choose your tone properly.
Yeah. I experienced that with politics and parents. I'm an educator. Discernment is key. Voicing your beliefs in a tone that makes the other person says the other wonder.
Yeah.
Says a lot. You are staying true to you, but not being ugly and saying it.
There
She was so excited. She was typing it in too.
Well, I think that's really powerful too, because it kind of goes back to the idea of it's like, you don't have to say everything that you believe in. You stand up for it. It should be coming out of your actions. And I think that's kind of what she's highlighting a little bit right there.
I love it too. Okay.
Lori said, careful to be true to God first. As a servant, allowing me to be true to self.
100.
And then it's the last one. Brother Carter
He just
said,
had to get jumped. Yeah, what we gonna do with him? So you're over here supposed to be on the show. Read his comment.
Brother Carter said, thank you all for staying in the game. Appreciate. And I just wanted to highlight it to, thank the audience for sticking around. We had some technical difficulties.
Yes, I tell you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you know what? I love you guys so much. And with that being said, we're going to go with the final thoughts and we are out. So I'm going to start with Valerie. What do you want to leave the people with? And this is the time to tell them about the crusade. Okay, there you go.
It will not be a dissertation. Please support our organization. We help the underserved community who are going through colon cancer treatment with food, hotel stay, utilities, co-pays. You can donate at 3-ccc.org. That is the website for Crusaders for Colon Cancer.
Say that again so they can type it in for you.
3-ccc.
That's okay.
That's 3-ccc.org. Crusaders for Colon Cancer. I am the founder and survivor. My name is Valerie Gardner Smith. My phone number is 83.
She can do that. That's they gotta get to her.
Oh, that's not your cell number.
No, that's my business number.
Okay.
Yeah.
My business number is 832-901-9307. Thank you for the opportunity. Love you guys.
And how was your experience this morning on the Love and Victory Show with Val?
As always, phenomenal. And I would be remiss to say if you do not invite me, I would have a problem with that.
Well, honey, we're going to always invite you. How could I leave you out? You are always coming back. All righty. Last but not least, Molly.
I would say that the holiday times is a time when a lot of people, a lot of families can get caught in the middle of their own things.
Yes.
So it is a great time to step outside of that. Go donate, right? Go volunteer.
Yes.
Think of others outside of yourself.
Come on,
Right.
yes.
Right, remove yourself, transform yourself.
Yes,
Right, tis the season. And if you feel that you're caught up in something, maybe you need to take a step back and think about the community as a whole. And it's a great season for that.
Yeah.
And we've got fantastic organizations that you can help out.
Yeah.
And again, this is Molly, and Molly is just, Molly, what are you doing these days?
Girl, I'm doing whatever I want.
And that's where we all want to be at, whatever you want. She's just here pouring love and sunshine on everyone else.
Sunshine.
There you go. I absolutely love her. But I always push her because she's just not anybody. She is sitting here with a law degree, and she's choosing to put it on the shelf, but not on the shelf.
Yeah, pursuing more creative projects.
She is definitely one creative genius. She's just full of life. So Molly, you keep pushing, you keep going, and I love you so much. And to Diamond, and then I'm gonna go to Aaron, and then Brother Carter, and we're gonna close out. Final thoughts.
Living your truth and stand up for something or fall for anything.
Okay.
You will. If you don't stand for something, you will fall.
All righty.
Oh, that actually reminds me. There's a quote. It's I can't remember the first part, but the second part is you fall to the standards. You don't rise to the habits that you want. You fall to the habits that are in place, right? It's like whatever habits and things that you do every day, like that's the standard, that's the level. And if you're someone who keeps getting caught in the middle, maybe take some time to evaluate where you're at in life and what you're looking for in relationships.
Ooh, very good. Okay, Aaron and Brother Carter.
'Tis the season to be jolly. La 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 la.
Okay.
So let's put a smile on our faces as much as possible, because this is the season to be jolly, not to be sad.
Yes.
And so we need Romans chapter 12, what it says, be not conformed unto this world. And that means don't be conformed to what you're seeing, what you're feeling. Don't buy into all of that stuff.
Buy into it.
transform, rethink things, see things at a brighter day, like Miss Molly. Miss Molly is so bright. She's on yellow. It's gloomy outside and everything, and she just brought in all kind of sunshine. I mean, that's the feeling that we want to have during the holiday spirit. So thank you, Miss Holly, for just bringing that smile and that yellow, that bright yellow into this place. It's very gloomy outside. But not in you. And so that's the spirit we want within us all. All right. Thank you.
All right. And for me, again, I am so grateful to have my childhood friend. That is still my childhood friend.
That's right.
We still have childlike hearts, and we can remember all the memories that we had growing up. But you know, when you can still have someone in your life from
kindergarten,
kindergarten, first grade, and we didn't see each other all the time, as I was saying earlier to Molly. We didn't see each other all the time. There were times that we kind of went our own life paths, but whenever we caught back up with each other, it was like we never stopped. You know, so invest into your friendships, and when they're those long-standing friendships, be close enough for when they need you and far enough away to mind your business.
That's right.
And so I'm just so grateful for you. You know, I'm so grateful for you, Valerie, because you were close enough when I needed you, but you were far enough away to still mind your business.
That's right.
But she's never been a busybody, so don't take that in a negative way, because she's never been, and I've never had a negative interaction with her. So I want to say, hook up to her organization. She has truly been selfless at trying to pour into others. And that just speaks volumes of who she is and her character. So, and to my team, I know that I push you guys. I know that I want and see the best in us. And I'm just so amazed at how you guys just keep on pressing through. God has sent each and every one of y'all to me and Brother Carter. Thank you all so much.
And thank y'all for not giving up too. See, that was one of those transformation type of thinking that we have on this show. We could have easily given in to the technical difficulty and fell apart
and canceled the show.
Right. But no, we were persistent. We was in tune.
We're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
We're going to figure it out. And I love you guys for that.
Be not conformed to what's happening right now.
That's right.
Let's get it.
Be transformed. Let's move forward. We're going to do that. I'm going to keep pushing that one now. I'm going to keep pushing.
Well, I love you guys. If y'all can look into the cameras and tell everybody we love you, and we are out of here.
Bye.
Yes.